So hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are absolutely fine and sound, and here we'll be covering basically many if you are facing issues on day one assignment. So we'll be covering this only, and this will be complete tutorial for day one assignment. Basically part A and part B will be covered in this video. So the length may be longer, but don't worry, if you're watching it, you'll be able to complete it. Now here regarding the courses, basically the day two assignments are also live. If you come to the courses page, you can see all the videos are live. You can see it's 2A and one more 2B is also live. It's live, it's not showing, do not worry. So here you can see day 1 assignment is here and 1A 1B is here, and the day 2 2A assignment is live and the 2B is also live, I think so. Let me see. If we just reload, so here don't worry, 2B will be also live. I'm just checking it out why it's not live over here. So basically let me first of all check it. So here you can clearly see if we reload. Yes, finally the video is live. Okay, the video is live. You can just complete both the day 2 assignments. So we are here in the day 1 assignment. So you must have received the introduction to agents day 1 assignment course. Now here you have to just come to the first module. Okay, first we'll be setting up agent using the Gemini ADK and basically Gemini and ADK. So come over here, make sure you are signed in, and the second thing is that you have to verify your phone number. Now, many of the participants are underage. Basically, they are having age less than 18. In that case, you can take help from your parents and participate it. Now, here we'll be copying and modifying. Click on it to modify it. Make sure the mobile number is verified beforehand. So we are in this assignment page. So basically many of you are asking that do we have to submit the assignments also? So the answer is no. This is for practice. Basically you have to submit the capstone project, whatever you are learning in the day 5 up to day 5, and you have to apply it and prepare a capstone project, and then you have to submit it to get the certificate, and the top people will be getting swags. So many people are confused that all will get the swag. No, only top people will get. So here you can see they have mentioned that they have mentioned yesterday, if you check the video, there is no mention of this thing. So the notebook does not require submission. Okay, it's for hands-on practice. And here, if you're getting this, waiting for the next available notebook. So basically, it happens due to the large number of requests. So you need to wait for a few minutes, and then we have to run each shell one by one. Now, the first thing is that we have to create an API key. I have already created an API key, but still I'll show you a demo because we are covering step-by-step guide. So first of all, let me delete my existing API key. So here I am deleting it, and I'll show you how you can create it. Basically how you can create it. Click on create API key. You can name your API key anything, like I am adding this name, and from the project you have to click on create project. Once it is selected, okay, it's not selected. Let me select it. Now name your project. So it will be day 1. Wait a second. Day 1 AB. You can name it anything. There is not a issue on this. We have to use the API key. Name will not cause any problem. So when you will open it, it will just generate the API key over here. And here it's taking a bit of time. Do not worry about it. After that, we have to click on this create key. So just see over here, wait for a few seconds. And now you can see this copy API key. Click on it. Come over here to the day 1 assignment. Okay, it's here. Okay, make sure the assignment looks like this. Now from the add-ons, click on the secrets, and then you can see by default I have enabled the API key. So many of you are getting some kind of error, that this error. Okay, make sure your API key is added. So by default, if you are using the old API key, it is deselected. You have to click on it to get selected and run all the cells. So I'm just starting from beginning. So I'm just making it as it is for beginner friendly. So I think it's not deleted. Let me delete it. Click on add secret. Now enter the API key value over here. Now here you can see we have to add the label over here. They have mentioned the label. So just copy the label over here, paste it, and just click on save. So finally our API key is saved and it is enabled. Okay. Now the next step is that we have to just come over here and just set up. So just come over here and you can see this runner, click on it to run it. So when you come over here and run it, It will take few seconds. Basically, the Jupyter session is being connected. So wait for some time and you can just try again. Okay, if you are getting error. So let's wait, and meanwhile do hype the video. If you are able to just complete the session, comment down below. And this is basically the first thing. So you can see we got the output API key setup complete. Instead, if you are getting this error, just try to check this one, okay, and try again. And if you are still getting error, just recreate the API key. Now we have to install the important ADK components which will be used for just running the other functions or just running our AI agent tool. So basically this course is basically for the prompt to action and will be covering all the things. It will again take some time for the ADK components to get implemented. So just wait. So here you can see the ADK components is successfully imported. Now come over here and just define the helper functions. So helper functions helps us to just basically, the helper functions, if we see, it helps us to define the functions, basically just get the output also. And some important thing which I wanted to and it helps to just simplify the code base and just build proper logic in smaller functions. Okay, basically you can just create a caller helper functions, just set the, basically if you want to just see it in the day 2 we are using the helper functions also. So if we show over here, if you see, like basically here in the day 2 what we did, we created three helper functions, once for approving the basically shipping request, one for just generating the shipping request, one for basically, okay, one for basically just adding a filter if the order is less than 5. So this is the basic thing. And in simple words, if you want to understand the help, so for example, if I try to explain in simple words, like if you're writing a long recipe, okay, so you need to just first step, you need to chop the vegetables, then mix the ingredients, and then instead of writing out steps for chopping you every time, which you need to create, you can simply create a simple functions, basically instruction block, you can see, that chop vegetables under your helper function. Okay, so whenever you need a recipe regarding the chopping vegetables, you can just run the helper functions. And basically the main thing is that it helps us to the organization and readability, and you can reuse it again and again, and it's very easy to debug. Suppose if I make all the helper functions, or without the helper functions if I use, then the code will become very long and it will become very difficult to just debug it. So if I am defining helper functions for all the tasks which I am doing in splitwise manner, then it will be easier for me to debug it. Okay, so here you can see we have just defined the helper functions. Now here we have to just come and retry option. So basically this will help you to retry if we are hitting any rate limit. Okay, if you are hitting any rate limit, I think it is done. Let me see. Yes, if we are seeing the number, that means it's done. So if we are hitting any rate limit like we are hitting yesterday, the API limit, so like this, it will try to retry. And if it is in paid version, then only it really works. Now here we have to define our first AI agent. So basically AI agent, you must have used Gemini offer, basically Gemini or ChatGPT Go, which is currently free. If you want to know how you can get it, you can check the description. I will link the video also. Now here in the LLM, like Gemini, before what used to happen, basically when you enter the prompt, like generate an image, the LLM processes it and just send the output. Now here, what the AI agent does, first we write the prompt, like generate the image, and then we have to, when the agent will just think, and then it will just generate the output, and then it will just see, basically it will observe all the outputs and find the best resolution and then send the final answer. You can see the process time, it's very quick, within fraction of second, even less. So here we have to define the agent name, model and instruction. So here you can see this is our code. Okay, here we are covering detailed course. If you want to just complete it as early as possible, you can watch the course which is I have shared over here. Come to the course section and you can clearly see here. You can just complete it. So here we are just explaining each and everything. So here you can see the root agent is agent, and we are naming it the agent as helpful assistant. Okay, and the model which we are using, basically depending on the model which are available at that time, we are using the Gemini 2.5 flashlight. So if you want to see which models are available on the Gemini, so here you can just see the Gemini model. So here you can see, if we come over the API of the Gemini for developers, I'm showing you the models, what kind of models are available over here. So here, okay, if you come to the documentation page, so basically currently I think 2.5 Pro. Yes, you can see these are the multiple models over here. Okay, we are using the, which model we are using? We are using the flashlight. So here you can see we are having 2.5 Pro, 2.5 Flash and lights. Okay, here are the multiple models listed over here. So we have used the model which was given default to our notebook. You can update it according to your requirements. Now here we are adding a description that this function helps the answer basic general questions, and instruction is that basically you are use Google to search for current info or if unsure. So we have to just define the root agent. So just run it. Your root agent is defined. Now we have to run it. Okay. Now it's time to just activate our agent. Okay, now we are giving it, as it has seen basically said over here, that we are giving the life to the agent. So the runner is being created. You can clearly see the runner is created. Now we have to just run this. Now many of you are getting rate limit exceeded error over here, I think so. So yes, you can see currently there is no issue. If you are following this video carefully, then you'll be able to complete the session without any issue. So you can see we have not got any kind of error over here. Now here we have to just use the web UI toolkit. Okay, so just come over here. Now here you can see they are mentioning multiple queries over here, like what's the weather is selected by default. If you want to know about what movies are showing in the theater, you can update the prompt like this. You can write anything, but I don't know whether the model is trained. We have to train the model also, but as if they are sharing the details, you can see here that what new movies are here. You can see all the movies are mentioned over here. You can see the Peppa Pig is also here. So now we have to try to the section 3 in the ADK web interface. Here basically first thing we have to create a sample agent using the Gemini model 2.5 flashlight, and the API key is already selected. Make sure you have not changed anything. Now here you'll be getting custom URL for building our agent, and then we'll test it. Do not worry. Meanwhile, in case you haven't subscribed the channel yet, do subscribe it and like the video. And after the 1A is completed, you will be completing the 1B also. So this is a comprehensive course. You can see the agent is created in this, and then we have to generate our custom URL. You can see here this is our custom URL. So here you can see that action required, agent is not running yet. We have to just open it. like this, and here you can see Jupyter server. Now here it's showing 500 internal error. You can see here they have mentioned that we have wait for the shell to show running. It's showing running. No, so it's taking some time, so wait for it. You have to just keep refreshing it again and again until we get. So here, if we just open it, we are still getting error. Do not worry about it. So yes, okay. So here we have to activate it also. So just run it to activate it. So here URL will be active. Basically, after opening the web UI, we have to run the next command also to just activate it. So just wait for it to get activated over here. And it may take some time, so don't panic at all because this is little bit lengthy. You can see the server is started. So if we come over here to the same Jupyter notebook and just try to refresh it, you can see the notebook will just update to the agent developer which we have just now created. Okay, we are created this agent developer. So here basically we have to type a message. So what message you can type? Okay, you can type anything like what is your name and just hit enter. It will generate the output over here. I don't know my name, like it is the weather. So what is the weather? I think it will also show the weather. So I cannot provide the real-time location. So basically we are just testing it. So we are done with this particular module. You can clearly see what is happening here. So here you can see all the outputs are also coming from the session. Okay, you can see that this is live. Now here, do not share the proxy link with anyone and it's private. Another thing is that we have completed the module. So basically in the 1A session, we have completed and built our first AI agent here, and you can see here, okay, it responded also, all the outputs were generated and we have tested it. Now, if you want to learn more, you can just explore the documentation. So the 1A assignment is completed. If you want to save, you can click on the save version and name it. Also, even if it is not getting saved, do not worry about it. Now just click on the save button. So finally we have saved the first module and now it's time to come to the second module. Basically 1A is done. Now let's come to the 1B. So here we have to come with basically you must have received the email regarding it. Now we'll be building our first multi-agent system using the ADK. So just right click, open it in a new tab and let's start. So basically this video will be comprehensive, so do not worry about it. We'll cover each and everything step by step and detailed. So this, if you want to just, so let's wait. So basically this thing is also done. Now here we'll click on copy and edit like we did earlier in the day 1A module. So now here you can clearly see that we are in the 1B module over here. Okay, 1B module over here, and we have to just set up all the things. So here they have mentioned that if I see, let me see the time, how much is completed. So it's 18 minutes, so there is no issue. So let me come over here. And now again, as I said earlier, there is no requirement for submission and the next notebook. If you are getting this kind of output, then you need to wait for some more time. Now here, run all cells one by one. Now click on the add-ons, click on the secrets, and by default, the API key is here. So make sure to check this one and then you are able to complete it. I repeat, if you are getting error like rate limit issue, then try again later, or you can just delete the API key and recreate it as we have done earlier in the first part. Now come over here and here we have to just configure the API key. So just import it, and it will again take some time, so wait for it. Meanwhile, in case you haven't liked the video yet, do like it and subscribe the channel. Do comment down below if you need other 3 days solutions also or not, also regarding the capstone project also. So many of you are asking, is there any swag for completing the challenge? So the answer is only for the top people. I have already mentioned in the video which I made also that the swag is not for all, only the top people will be getting. In the course I have already explained. If you see the course over here, okay, if you see the course, you can clearly see. So finally here you can clearly see that the API key is set. Now we have to just import the ADK components like we did earlier. So basically, if you are facing one more important thing I want to say, like if you are facing issues like resource exhausted or rate limit like that, in that case you can try the course in early morning or you can try in evening. Basically, the traffic is used. Yesterday the traffic was used, so people were unable to complete the course. So this is the thing which I wanted to share. Now wait for the ADK components to get it imported. It may take 5 to 10 minutes or even early also depending on the, as I said, traffic. So just wait for it to get completed, then we'll configure the retry option and we'll talk about each and everything in detail. So just wait. So finally here you can see the ADK components are imported successfully, and now we have to configure the retry option. So basically the retry option, as I said earlier, if you are getting error, basically transient error like rate limits or the services are unavailable, so it will just retry it again and again. Okay, you can see here we have configured the attempts also. Okay, if you just see the syntax, attempts, maximum attempts it will do for 5. Okay, and here you can see that delay multiplier is based on 7. So we have done this. Now why we are building the multi-agent system? So basically here, why we are building the multi-agent system? So basically a single agent cannot perform all the tasks and you may face some kind of error. For example, let me give you a rough example for the single agent and multi-agent. For example, in single agent, when you have to, when you prompt it to generate an image or text, it can generate it in a, basically it will take some time to generate because a single agent is doing all the task. But if you see, basically if you see that you have a multi-agent system, then there will be different system like image generation, a different system is there, video generation different system is there, and basically the image to text or basically any prompt generation or booking tickets, etc. generation. Basically, if you want to understand in simpler words, if I make it simple, let me, for just making things convenient. Basically, if you want some task related to research only and some wants only for basically normal write-ups or just prompt, then there will be different agents for different resources. Okay, you must have seen there are different. If you open the Gemini, if I open the Gemini, I can show you the demo. Okay, so let me open the Gemini. If it's not opening here, I think yes, Google Gemini is here. So I'm showing you a rough demo over here too, so you are able to understand it. So here you can see it's asking fee. Okay, so here you can see here we have a different agent basically for creation of image, deep research and multiple things. You can see all these things for guided learning or canvas. So like this only multi-agent system works. So here you can see the multi-agent system root coordinator is two types. So first one is research specialist and summary specialist. One will do the research, and if you need the output in summarization format, then it will just generate the summary from the same research findings. So here you can see we have the example for research and summarization system. You can see we have named the agent as a research agent and model is Gemini 2.5 flashlight. Now here we are having the instructions basically that your job is only to use this search tool for retrieving the information. In output key we have to add the output key also. So basically it will be storing the session over there. So here let's run it. Similarly, summarization agent we have to create. So it's working. Let me do it. You can see this is also created. Now we have to create a route coordinator for defining our workflows. So here we are naming it as research coordinator and the model is again same. So basically it will tell the route agent how to use the tools. Like we have to just use the research tool only, or we have to use the summary tool also, or we have to use all at a time. From first, like research agent will do the job, then it will just receive findings, basically research findings, and then it will just summarize it depending on the summarization to the activation. So we have to just run it to activate. So root agent is also created. Now we have to run it. So now here also many of you are getting rate limit exceeded error. So you can see we are following it and we are not getting any kind of error. So please follow the video carefully. The steps which I have explained in the 1A session, how you have to create a new API key and work on it. So you need to understand all the things. So basically wait for the output to get generated and it will take some time. After that we'll move forward to the section 3. That is basically sequential workflows with the assembly line. Meanwhile, I repeat, if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, do subscribe it and like the video. And if you are interested in joining the channel membership, you can just come to the channel and click on the join button. Apart from this, if you are interested in Google Cloud Arcade challenges, you can see here the arcade challenges are also here and the GenAI Academy challenge is also here. So let's come over here and here you can see it's still running. So just wait for it to get completed and after that we'll move forward to the next section. So just wait. So you can see it's generating the output. So we are getting some warnings. You can ignore the warning. There is not a big issue on just getting the warnings. So it's temporary and wait for it to get completed. So finally here you can see we have got the research coordinator that here you can see we have got the output over here. Okay, we just generated the output based on the what are the latest advancement in quantum computing and what do they mean to AI. So here you can see the research coordinator has basically our AI agent has just generated this output. You can see here that the quantum computing advancement are set to revolutionize the AI. So like this it will generate the output. You can just try, you can just change the here, basically change the prompt, then you can just retry over here also. Now let's come to the sequential workflows. Okay, we will talk about the orders. So basically the problem is that the previous multi-agent system worked, but it is relied on the detailed instruction prompt. Okay, so now here we have to just fix the pipeline. You can use a basically sequential agent which will act as a sequence. Okay, it will just have sub agents within it which will help you to complete it. So let's come over here and just define it. You can see here we are creating a blog post using the sequential agents. So here we are using three specialized agents. One will do the outline work, one will do the writing work, and third will just edit the blog post. Basically, first we'll create the outline. Basically, it creates the outline for the given topic. And then the writer agent will write the blog post, like for example, this tutorial, it will like the tutorial script, or the editor will do the edits. Basically it will just define the scheduling process or just it will just publish it. So let's define the outlining agent. We are just naming it as outline agent. You can see the model is Gemini 2.5 Flash, and here you can see the instruction is here. That instruction you can change it also depending on it, but I won't recommend changing it. If you are doing for practice, you can try it after completing the work. So here you can see the instruction is that we have to create a blog outline and then enter topic. You can add a topic also, there is not a big deal on it. So here you can see the output key is there which will store the output. So let's run it and define the output agent. So it is created. Now writer agent, basically here we have to write a blog of 200 to 300 words with engaging informative tone. So writer agent is also created. Now editor agent is also created. Okay, it will just polish the text by fixing any grammatical error. Apart from scheduling, they just fix the grammatical error or whether the text is in small letters or capital letters, a full stop, all the things it gets fixed over here. So now we have to run the sequential agent and let's see our output. Basically a blog post. So sequential agent is also created and the name is blog pipeline. Now let's come over here and use the runner and it will just create a blog post over here. And let's see, you can see the outline is here, that benefits of the multi-agent system for software developers. Now headline is here. You can see the unlock superpowers how multi-agent system will revolutionize the software development. And here you can see the hook is also here, and then it is just dividing all the things into sections. You can see section 1, section 2 and section 3. And a conclusion is also provided, and if you want to summarize it you can just check it out. Now here we are in the section 4 of the parallel workflows. So here basically in the parallel workflows you can see the problem with the bottleneck and the solution. So basically previous sequential agent is great, but it's an assembly line. Okay, each step must wait for the previous one to finish. Basically if you are using the prompt over here, so here, okay, so if you are using the prompt here, so you have to wait. You have to wait for the first prompt to get completed, and then only you'll be able to, wait a second, where is the page? It's 1B. Okay. So you have to wait for the first task to get completed, then only you will be able to run the second one. And it is a hectic because it is depending on the output of the first one to complete. So now, if you want to research on three different topics, then how you can just research with the basically first will generate the first topic, and chances are there it will show the output for the first topic only if you are just trying to get more from the same research topic, or if you are just writing the another, it will become hectic and difficult to manage. So for the solution we have a multi-topic research, you can see here. So basically we can create basically we research three topics. Okay, now using the parallel execution here, it will just use the different research tools. Okay, so if we are researching regarding to tech, health and finance, we cannot research all in single basically at once. So we are using the parallel execution, and then it will just aggregate and just send a combined report. So like you are working for particularly a pacemaker, it is basically related to health, and we are using some tech resources also. So you are using the tech also and finance. The what budget you have to use. I'm just giving it a raw example. The example may be incorrect, but just making you understand the concept. So here you can see now we have to just set the agent. So here we will be bending the four agent system. You can see one is tech researcher, which will just research about the new trends, new techs, news, etc. And here the health researcher will do the research basically based on the medical news trends. The finance researcher will be just checking the research with the finance and fintech news, and aggregator will combine all the aggregator is the agent. Okay, we are using only three researcher and one aggregator agent. So it will combine all the outputs into single summary. So let's set the take researcher. Okay, so here we have to just research the key developments. You can see the instruction. Now just set the health researcher, now finance researcher, now aggregator. Aggregator will combine all the technological trends, health trends and finance, and you'll be getting the summary. Now here just run it. So parallel and sequential agent both are successfully set over here. Okay. We are using the sequential agent also here. Okay. And first it will run the sequential agent and then run, sorry. So basically how the workflow works, let me explain. First the sequential agent is defined. Then it will run the parallel agent first. Then it will run the aggregator. So now let's run over here and let's see whether it works or not. So here we are just running the runner, and you can see we are getting the resource. So here we have prompted this using the above query, and then you can see for technology we are getting another output, and for health also you are seeing the health and technology and for finance. Now here you can see it's giving a quick summary over here for all the things. Now here we have just completed and understand how the parallel agent works and how you can speed up the workflow, because if you use the sequential agent directly, then you have to just run the query for health, then again for the technology, and then for the finance. Now here all these three are done at single step only. Now here loop workflows. So here the problem one shot quality. Basically, okay, here you can see that basically the output which you are getting starts from the sequential agent and parallel agent, and at last they get stopped. Okay, so this one stop approach is not good for basically refined tasks. So in that case we need to just improve it with cycles of revision. You must be knowing about loop, it's just repeating the same step again and again. So basically we are using a loop agent over here to run the sub agents which will just repeatedly basically it will run again and again until a specific condition is met, like generate the report for 5 times, 10 times, like this. Okay, so let's come over here and just we have to create two agents for story refinement. One is the writer agent, one is the critic agent. So let's run it one by one. You can see it is done. Now come over here, run the second agent. It is also created. Now here we have to just run it. So here we are just creating a simple Python function, basically loop agent, and it will work. So exit loop is created. Now just run it to refine the stories based, and here you can see the story draft it is here, and here the task is here. So the refiner agent is also created. It will refine the story based on the critics call or just existing loop. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Now just both the loop and sequential agent is completed, and now we have to run it. So basically we are running it. So here it's just writing a short story about a lighthouse keeper who discovers a mysterious glowing lamp. So you can see all these things are generated, and now we are in the summary of the workflows. Okay. So finally we have completed the module day 1 complete course, and basically here we are in the summarization. So basically we have completed the day 1. If you want to complete day 2, you can always check the course over here. I'll link the course, do not worry about it. And now here let's come to the summarization. So basically we have worked with the pipelines including the sequential agent, parallel agent, loop agent, and LLM orchestra. So here you can see the quick reference table, and when we have to use the LLM based sub agents, when we have to use the sequential and parallel and loop. So here you can see the example is here for LLM, like for researching and summarization. For sequential we are writing something and we have to add modification over here. And if we are working on multi-topic research, like just combining three topics together and researching, as we have seen in the health tech and basically what we called it finance. So we are getting this, and here for loop, like for refinement, you need proper refinement again and again with repeated cycle. You have to use a loop. Now here we have completed, and you can see here no submission is required. You can just do it. Basically, do not worry. Do like the video, do hype the video, and do subscribe the channel. And here we'll meet in the day 3, because day 2 is already completed. If you come to the course, I'm just sharing the new tutorial because many of you are facing issues. So here is the new tutorial. Okay, day 2 tutorial is here. You can watch these two videos, and if you are facing issue, you can let them in the comment section. Do like the video guys and subscribe the channel. I hope it clears your doubt. And if you want to know more about the GenAI official course, you can watch this video. So thank you guys. Have a great day ahead. Do like the video and subscribe the channel.